of action. Chris, is there anything you want to add?
I can just explain real quick why the firearm industry is so concerned about these codes. And, we talked about how these codes are a normal business. It's normal for businesses to be coded. I mean, when you go to a gas station, when you go to a grocery store, you're coded. But the issue is that there aren't political groups out there trying to go after people that go to gas stations or go to grocery stores. And these codes have never been politicized before now. This was the first time we saw three actual political activist organizations and politicians in Washington, D.C. and New York work with one singular bank on the East Coast to petition this Switzerland-based organization to start tracking gun purchases here in the United States, and that's why it's so concerning. When this code was approved, people started to say, "Oh, well, we'll just stop going to gun shops. We'll go and buy on third parties. We'll find a way around going to gun shops."
We got a motion on the bill and we got a second. We do have a question, Senator Burke.
You may have answered my question. I guess my concern, honestly, is how are people using these codes? What's happening that you think this needs to stop?
Thank you for that question, Senator. So the coding, first of all, I think it's important to note that it hasn't started yet. But California has mandated this code for firearm retail shops, and that law will go into effect soon. And codes will be applied to firearm retail shops in California. And on top of that, back in December, we had 48 U.S. Senate Democrats write a letter to the credit card networks demanding that they implement the code in states where it hasn't been banned. So that emphasizes why we want to ban it in most states. Yes.
A follow-up question, sir. So the goal, you don't want anybody to be able to tell who bought a gun?
So it's important to note that, and a lot of people don't know, I didn't know until I started working for the firearm industry, that the federal government is legally prohibited from maintaining a list of people that go to gun shops. That's why firearm retail shops have to maintain their records forever, essentially, so that the ATF and agents can come in and find out who bought guns later on. But there is no database of gun owners out there, and this would be a backdoor way to create a registry of gun owners that could be accessed by the government and others.
And let me be real clear about this. It also creates an assumption, Senator. When somebody goes into a retail gun store to purchase something, that MCC would be flagged for the purchase. It doesn't flag to the actual product level. So you could go into a retail gun store in my district or Representative Lewis district or any of your all's districts, and you could purchase a large amount of fishing tackle. You could purchase a bow and arrow. You could purchase a gun safe. You could purchase any of these things, and you're flagged with that code, and it would create the assumption, if the value of that purchase was a certain purchase price, that you had purchased a gun, and you might not have even purchased a gun to start with. Just based on, again, flagging
so it would be an
code.
Invalid assumption.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. I think I've got my answers. Thank you very much.
Senator Westerfield.
Thank you, Chairman. Members, I appreciate you bringing the bill. And Representative Lewis, you texted me about it yesterday and gave me some helpful information. I want to thank you for that. What happens if someone pays cash today? Obviously, this doesn't apply, right? And is there anything in the bill? Because I'm as big a nerd as I am, I wasn't familiar with the issue at all. Is there anything stopping law enforcement from being able to identify purchasers of firearms? There's still an ATF record, right? There's still going to be proof that the firearm had been purchased if there was something downstream that had happened that was against the law.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still background checks.
Yeah.
Right. Everything in place. This is just a private company.
Thank you. Nothing further.
All right. No more questions? We got a motion and a second. Mr. Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Senator Berg?
I'm going to vote no. I thank you very, very much for this bill. I honestly have some concerns. If you don't want anybody to track you, pay cash. And if you're going to use your credit card, I don't think that we should make a separate rule for a single individual type of purchase. I mean, if we're going to make this rule for firearms, then why don't we make it for personal hygiene products. You know, I mean, it's the same thing. So I vote no, but thank you.
Senator Boswell.
Explain my vote. I just want to thank you,
Go ahead.
gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen, for bringing this bill. This is an excellent bill. Aye.
Senator Deneen.
Aye.
Senator Harper Angel. Senator Higdon.
Aye.
Senator Meredith. Senator Smith. Senator Westerfield. Senator Williams.
I'd like to explain my I vote. It's really not material to the bill, but I did note that this committee was in Geneva, Switzerland. And I had a friend that moved back to Switzerland. And a lot of people here may not know that every male, and now probably a lot of females now, not only have a SIG, automatic, what might be called an assault rifle, but it's an automatic rifle at their home. They have full ammunition. Every male's in the military. Every male has a requirement that they're a little worried about when they hit their 40s and 50s, and that they got to go in 1 week in a year and qualify with that SIG that they have at home. And if they don't qualify, they stay in for a week until they do qualify. So there's a fully qualified automatic weapon at every home in Switzerland, and that's how they guarantee their neutrality. Thank you. I vote yes.
Senator Wilson. Chair Girdler.
Aye. It passes. And just a little bit of advice for those who's paying cash. I watched a testimony of Fannie Willis, and she paid cash for a lot of stuff. So, you know, anyway, thank you, and it passes, and we'll get somebody, or you get somebody on the floor, and we'll get her there. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the
Thank you.
committee.
All right. Last but not least, DJ Johnson, Representative Johnson, if you'll come up and introduce yourself. You going solo?
I'm going solo, but I have backup in the audience.
All right, way back up. I see they're at back there. He left just now, DJ. Now what we do?
I'll do my best.
All right, hang in there.
DJ Johnson, representing the 13th District, parts of Davis County. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, for allowing me to present House Bill 453 today. Very briefly, the purpose of House Bill 453, it's an act titled An Act Relating to Assistance for Military Veterans. It amends KRS 620.040 to require the Cabinet for Health and Family Services to determine the military status of any parent or guardian subject to an investigation of potential child abuse or neglect. It also requests the Cabinet to notify appropriate DoD family advocacy program of an investigation involving a member of the United States Armed Forces. Very briefly, in summary, currently there's no requirement for this communication between CHFS and DoD, which results in a gap in support for service members and family members in instances of potential child abuse. House Bill 453 closes that gap. Subject to any questions, I would request that the committee vote in
Got a
favor.
motion? Got a
Second.
from Senator Meredith. Any questions? Mr. Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Senator Berg. Aye. Senator Boswell. Aye. Senator Deneen.
Aye.
Senator Harper Angel. Senator Higdon. Aye. Senator Meredith. Aye. Senator Smith. Senator Westerfield. Aye. Senator Williams. Aye. Senator Wilson. Aye. Chair Girdler.
Aye. This passes unanimously. I'd like to have I got a motion for consent. First, and then I'll use Senator Berg's second. All in favor say aye. 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 Any opposed?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great rest of the day.
Appreciate it. Before we leave, I want Corey Ann Jackson come up here real quick. This young lady here is with the Kentucky National Guard, and she's going to make an announcement.
Yeah, put me on the spot. No, we're having the Kentucky National Guard and Gerald Laberton are hosting our annual state legislator flight and brief orientation flight over Frankfurt on the 13th of March next week, 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll have a briefing, a helicopter ride over Frankfurt, and some MREs for you all to eat with some soldiers and maybe some airmen who may be present as well. So if you should have gotten an invitation in your email, but if you haven't or haven't RSVP'd yet, please let us know. We'd love to have you, and reach out with any questions, text or call. Thanks.
Thank you. Senator Higdon wants to brag on you a little bit, I believe.
I do, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Corey, for all you do. And if any of you have not taken them up on this trip in a Black Hawk, it's tremendous. Ask for the hurricane door.
Or don't.
If you really want a thrill of a lifetime, take the hurricane door and have it open. And but anyway, thank you for that invitation. And again, I'd encourage all my colleagues to take you up on that, because it is a awesome piece of machinery and a great trip.
Yes, sir. And let me clarify. So the briefing is first, the flight is second, and then the MREs are third in that order on purpose. But no, seriously, if you can just join us for half or, any piece of that's fine. 'Cause we understand there's other committee meetings going on that day too. So thank you.
Thank you, Corey.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. If there's no further business to come before this, by the way, Senator Meredith, your toupee, if you go wear there, need to put a hat on over that toupee. All right.